Ladies and gentlemen, sit down, tighten your seatbelts and hold your political expectations very gently, because what just landed on the timeline is not just a tweet. It's a challenge letter wrapped in politeness, dipped in suspicion, and served straight to a general. Right here, in plain sight, Team PACHEDU, yes, the same digital watchdogs who count votes like accountants counting cents, have stepped forward and essentially said, "General, we see you, but we don't understand you." And just like that, the silence around Constantino CHIWENGA didn't just become louder, it became dangerous. Because here is the thing, when a general speaks in riddles, the nation starts filling in the blanks. And Zimbabweans are very good at this. They don't just interpret, they overinterpret with experience. Now, let's break this down slowly, because this is not just a tweet, it's a political pressure test. Team PACHEDU opens politely, almost too politely. "We hope this tweet finds you well. You already know when Zimbabweans start a message like that, something is about to go wrong. It's about to go down." That's not a greeting. That's a warning disguised as manners. Then they move straight into the real issue, ambiguity. They are saying, "General, you are talking, but you are not saying anything." And that right there is the frustration building across the country. Because at a time when Zimbabwe is dealing with CAP 3, this controversial constitutional maneuver that smells like power extension, smells like political engineering, smells like 2030 without asking anyone nicely, people are looking at CHIWENGA as the man who could say something. But instead, what are they getting? Hints, signals, Bible verses, strategic silence. And Zimbabweans are now asking, is this wisdom or is this avoidance? Then comes the part that really hits like a brick through a window. They bring up Geza, blessed Geza. Now, this is where things stop being polite and start becoming uncomfortable. They are basically saying, your people out there are promoting you, defending you, risking everything for you. And when it mattered, you said nothing. And then the line that cuts deep. Your own men died in self-imposed exile in South Africa. That is not just a statement. That is an accusation wrapped in disappointment. Because in Zimbabwean politics, loyalty is currency, and silence is interpreted as abandonment. So now the question being asked publicly is, was Geza being used? Was he part of a bigger strategy? Or was he just another pawn in a game that only a few understood? That question alone is enough to shake political circles. But wait, it gets even hotter, because when they bring CAP 3 into the conversation, and this is where the gloves come off, quietly but completely, they say, we are here with CAP 3 because you allowed it. Boom. That's not analysis. That's blame. They are saying, General, you had the influence, you had the networks, you had the power to stop this, and instead you watched. And now, because you haven't come out clearly to say no to CAP 3, they are accusing you of something even more serious. Playing Zimbabweans. Not leading, not resisting, not opposing, playing. And that word right there is dangerous in politics, because once people believe they are being played, they stop waiting and start acting. Then comes the most explosive accusation of all. They are saying, you are doing a Geza moment again. You know what this means? It means you are positioning yourself as calm, reasonable, peaceful, while potentially neutralizing any momentum for real action like protests. In simple terms, they are accusing you of being the pacifier of resistance, not the leader of change, but the manager of expectations. And that, Zimbabwe, is a very serious claim. Because history has shown when people feel their hope is being managed instead of fulfilled, things don't stay quiet for a long long time. And then the final line, prove us wrong and we will apologize. Yeah, Zimbabwe. So there is the dare. That is not a request. That's a public dare. They are basically saying, you have the respect, you have the connections, you have the power. Now show us what side you are on. And that is where the real tension begins, because CHIWENGA now finds himself in a very uncomfortable position. If he speaks clearly against Cap 3, he ignites a political confrontation at the highest level. If he stays silent, he confirms every suspicion that is now spreading like wildfire. If he continues with coded messages, he risks losing the very people who are waiting for clarity. So the question is no longer what is happening. The question is, what will he do next? And this right here is where Zimbabwe stands today. Not just watching politics, but decoding it. Not just listening to leaders, but questioning them. Because the country has seen this script before. Promises, silence, strategic ambiguity, and then disappointment. And now, Team PACHEDU has done something very simple but very powerful. They have taken what everyone was whispering and said it loud. And once something is said out loud in Zimbabwean politics, it doesn't go back into silence. It grows. So now, the pressure is no longer hidden. It's public, it's direct, and it's sitting right in front of one man. Now, Zimbabwe, this is where you come in. Do you believe CHIWENGA is playing a long game or playing the people? Drop your answer in the comments. Yes or no, and explain why. And if you want the kind of analysis that doesn't just report the story, but breaks it open piece by piece, you have to subscribe to Zimwebs TV, because in this game of silence and signals, we translate everything.
Ndianiko asinga de 2030 Masiye Zimbabwe. Ndianiko asinga de 2030 Masiye Zimbabwe.